Folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for a rather interesting legacy stream. So, user Growthought sent me this Angry Birds deck list, and this is not a traditional legacy deck list. This deck is being submitted with an extreme budget stipulation. This is a $150 legacy deck list. And that's, well, impressive. Restrictive might be a better way of talking about that. So just to give you a feel of what like legacy decks are worth in paper, I'm just gonna pull up a couple of random decks real quick and give you a feel for how much they cost. So if you want to play a Bant control deck in paper, it's about $5,200. If you want to play a Death and Taxes deck list, it's about $2,500. You would like to play Blue-Red Delver, that's about $6,000. And if you would like to play lands, that's about $15,000. So tonight we are playing with a $150 deck list. Oh, okay. Quick update from chat. Currently $130. So what are we trying to do today? We're kind of a tribal deck that is built around small creatures. So we have all sorts of annoying things that can pick at you, like Fairy's Seer and Judge's Familiar. And then we are looking to make them bigger, or well, more accurately, we are looking to make a Watcher of the Spheres bigger by casting this card. So whenever another creature with flying ETBs under your control, this thing gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. And my creatures with flying cost 1 less. Now, this is pretty interesting with something like Squadron Hawk. So you play a Squadron Hawk and you get 3 more Squadron Hawks out of your deck, right? Well, they grow this thing, and then they're also cheaper as well. The thing that really makes this deck like have any real potential is actually Sky Hussar. So ignore the stats in the text box, okay? We care about the forecast ability. Tap 2 untapped white or blue creatures you control, reveal this thing from your hand, and draw a card. You can activate this only during your upkeep and only once a turn. So the idea is that we just have all sorts of fuel from Sky Hussars, and we can play a Cloud of Fairies, which are essentially free, Spell Strutter Sprites, which counter our opponent's spells, and we even had a little bit of money left over for some things like Spell Queller. One of the other draws to the deck is Island Sanctuary. You would draw a card during your draw step. Instead, you may skip that draw. If you do, until your next turn, you can't be attacked except by creatures with flying and or island walk. So we're hoping that this is a game 1 prison piece that can cause us to get some free wins versus a lot of decks. We can definitely use that sort of thing when playing on a very restrictive budget. The sideboard has a bunch of copies of Force of Virtue to grow our creatures, which I think is pretty sweet and probably pretty important for any sort of creature mirror. We have Back to Basics to get some free wins versus a bunch of greedy decks because we don't really have much in terms of a mana base. And by that, I mean this deck literally cannot afford, in terms of money, to be playing that many dual lands. We have the hyper budget Port Town Legacy All-Star and a pretty decent F-Zero track. That is a dual land, but we're trying to use, honestly, a lot of our budget is in the cards that are in the sideboard, the Meddling Mages, the Back to Basics, those sorts of things, the Containment Priest. So we'll see how this deck goes. I expect there to be a lot of bird puns tonight. I don't know how many wins we're gonna get. Generally speaking, if budget legacy is something that appeals to you, I encourage you to look into Burn and maybe a Dredge deck of some nature. Those are often go-to decks. You can build sort of like a tiered Burn deck in Legacy for maybe $300 or $350, but most of that actually comes from fetch lands and sideboard cards rather than from the primary cards itself. So you can probably build a budget version of Burn that's still pretty darn respectable for, somewhere between $150 and $200, I think. I haven't mathed it all out, but I did a quick check today, and that's kind of where I thought it was at. All right, let's see how it goes. If you're regularly watching my content on YouTube, please consider throwing me a like. We're probably incinerating some play points today, but it should be some fun. Okay, I'll be keeping my opening hand here, and I realized that I didn't read this card, which is probably important to read. This is a card that allows you to become the Monarch. When this thing ETBs, you tap an enchanted creature, and I become the Monarch, and the enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step unless unless that player is the Monarch. Blah. Words. We also have standard all-star of, oh geez, what was that now? 8-ish? Oh, probably like 9-ish years ago. Moorland Haunt. So Moorland Haunt was Innistrad. So 2012? Question mark? All 2012? Oh, my opponent has flyers of their own. I guess I just need to like yeet a flyer into this at some point. So let's go ahead and do that now. I think I'm fine with this trade if my opponent makes it. Let's not show them the white yet. Alright, and you don't have flash, do you? You don't have flash, so that means I need to cast you now. We're just gonna be over here, like, bluffing High Tide. I can't possibly see any way that we lose the Monarch. Opponent doesn't have any creatures. What do you mean they're a dazed deck? I was kind of expecting my opponent to play another creature, which is why I was willing to trade with the Baleful Strix in the first place. Now we're just gonna chill. That's a good draw. I really do just want a Spellstarter Sprite the first creature they play, though. I also don't really want Squadron Hawk to get forced. So we're going to play the Moorland Haunt game. Okay. No! My trigger! Pauper's fun. I haven't played Pauper in a hot minute. It's been years since I touched that format, honestly. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, counter it unless they pay 3 life. Sure, that's fine. So we fall from favor that. Rob, thank you very much for the continued support. This 3 life is obnoxious. Also, the Squadron Hawk curse, we drew another one because we didn't play it immediately. Shit! Well, alright. I guess we're doing this now. Dude, this Edgemore Witch card is legit. Alright, we'll build a bird army. Everything will be fine. Yeah, I really liked mono black control in Pauper as of a few years ago, like playing around with crypt rats and things of that nature. Kuambaj, which is Augur of Skulls and unearthing it to bring it back. Pestilence fun. Is that the right word? Might not be the right word. But I get where you're coming from. I mean, I guess. Okay, hold on. What was up with this card? I wonder if my opponent can literally win with this in play. We'll find out if this card works as intended. I'm very glad I played that out. Hello? Oh god. Oh no. So, um, Magic Online is currently having some issues. I will be conceding this match. So what's happened here is that clicking on this island sanctuary has caused the game to restart and to loop. So apologies, YouTube viewers. We're gonna go into the next match momentarily. Okay, so I have a double Sky Hussar hand, and I don't know that I can keep this hand without a second white or blue creature in it. It becomes pretty good if I do get another creature, though. And, like, especially if I can start activating two of these things. I'm gonna mulligan. Keep. Keep this. Let's pretend the pilot received 1,400 fun bucks from El Presidente Biden and bought Force of Will. An interesting strategy. So our budget deck is now $1,400 plus $150. Yo, the Cheerios video was really fun to record. It was shenanigans for sure. My favorite league from this week, though, is definitely the Phyrexian Dreadnought League with Eater of Days. Oh yeah, yeah, I should have talked about that in the intro. This is a throwback to times long since past. Here it is again. All right, let's leave up Spellstrutter Sprite. Oh yeah. Nom 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 nom. Yeah, so like it's so frustrating. It'd make them fetch and make their brainstorm worse, but I don't think I want to actually do that. Where is it going? Yeah, it's so frustrating anytime you want to use the word modern, meaning recent, rather than modern the format in Magic talk. I come across that a lot. Yeah, basic swamps. Here's my tech though. We're gonna have a shit ton of 1/1s. A lot of them. Hey, look, we don't need that many hits. They're at 10. Got them on a 5-turn clock if I don't draw another land. Excuse me? That's not something I can counter with my burb. I also don't have white mana here. Awkward. I can counter that, and then I think I need to counter this. This like sucks, but I think I need to counter this so that I can play Fairy Seer, Scry, and try to find a white source so I don't just die to Death Shadow. I found my white source. Found it. At what cost, though? Um, how many untapped white sources do I have? 8? Oh god. Alright. I'm just gonna top that. We're gonna chump block for a couple of turns. Then I'm gonna play an Island Sanctuary, which theoretically wins me the game if it resolves. Oh yes, the ghost quarters also counted. But Phil, you always say, "Gosh, those basic lands, they're so sexy." I feel like I just want more land right now in order to play Island Sanctuary around a Spell Pierce effect. Yeah, they're a little bit sexier when you do have the fetch lands. I'm gonna hold these back. We're looking to win this by resolving Island Sanctuary. I just need to work towards finding another plains in case I get wastelanded this turn, which is like the disaster level scenario. I imagine Seachrome. Oh, don't Thoughtseize me either. I need my questionable Pegasus card. I think I'm just dead anyway if my opponent has another Shockland in their deck, right? They can increase the Death Shadow's size by 3. Then that's 15 damage. 14 damage. Um, I think I just Swords to Plowshares this now. Take 3 from this and then play Island Sanctuary. I want to do that now rather than in their upkeep so that they can't hardcast a Force of Negation. Our mana is problematic again. We can't activate Moorland Haunt this turn. Can't double spell this turn either. Please? Please? Don't have Force of Negation. Beat Spell Pierce. I beat Daze. The idea is we don't draw any more cards, and then they never get to attack me again. It may also break Magic Online. It broke Magic Online last game. We have caused our opponent pause greatly. So I don't know what's going on here. Okay, they are fetching. After a long pause, I cut some of it out for the YouTube folks. Oh, yes. Now I will deck them. This is strange. Oh no. Is it doing it again? Yeah. Okay. So that's 2 games in a row we have broken with Island Sanctuary. Womp womp. What's going on here? I've reverted to the middle of a previous turn somehow. I have a cloud of fairies floating in the middle of the screen. Oh gosh. Yeah. All right. The entire game is restarted. This is a mess. Okay. I will be keeping this hand. We have a bunch of scries. And port towns aren't even island and plains, so you can't like reveal them to themselves. That's unfortunate. Squadron Hawk is great. Bell Queller doesn't feel nearly as great. It's fine. But I just want to nab that Squadron Hawk and then probably shuffle my library. Notably here, there was a lot of tension on my turn 1 between whether or not I play Port Town for like the ability to get my dual lands into hand, or whether or not I just play a basic land to play around Wasteland. What did I reveal before? Which one of my basic lands did I reveal before? Thank you, chat. Next turn, we're going to go ham. I can play 3 Squadron Hawks and a Cloud of Fairies next turn. That's hot. Suspicious. Are you Felchmaster's alt account? That's a Felchmaster level pun right there. Well done. Sanctum Prelate on 2. The good news is Sanctum Prelate doesn't stop creatures. It stops non-creature spells. I think I'm just praying that I can outclock them. Shit, they have a flyer. That's not good. Them's fighting words, kinda. Man, I was really looking forward to crashing in for a billion with Cloud of Fairies. Or not Cloud of Fairies, the Watcher. Oh, shit. Alright, so I need to, like, hold priority now. Oh, okay, so I can still float my mana. I also did this wrong. I got thrown off by the fact that I got to pay 1 for this. I guess I'll do this now and make up for my mistake. No, but it's good practice. Like, I don't have any good flicker targets on my side of the field. Oh yeah, we just got all the birds. I forgot about the cost reduction, so that just means we get everything. Yeah, this looks like a real legacy turn. Glorious Wolfman, thank you very much for your support. Hope you're doing well. I think I actually want to scry now. Rather than play another Squadron Hawk. Yeah, if they didn't have the Flicker Wisp here, like I was attacking for 7. I think I get in for 1 this turn instead. Like, if they block my Fairy Seer, I'm good with losing that body, but I think they just have to soak up all that damage. I mean, we can still theoretically get in for 6 a turn. I say theoretically, because, like, once File goes up to 3 and, like, Recruiter Flicker Wisp chains start to become a thing, stuff gets a little spookier. Apery Dollarinos. Oh, Moreland Haunt is sick. Can't activate it this turn and play Squadron Hawk, so I just won't play it this turn. Send him. I am the beatdown. Yeah, I think this was like 40 ticks on Magic Online for me to borrow it. It was like nothing. Well, lands is $1,500. Or $15,000 rather. Most of which is the Tabernacle. Uh-oh, hot dog. So I don't think I can beat a Jitte or a Batterskull. Like, I'll try. But that just eats 2 of my creatures a turn or gains 4 life a turn. Oh yeah, Tabernacle's on the reserve list. We're gonna be surprisingly close to, like, aggroing out our opponent. I'm gonna do this now so I can just F6 the rest of my turn, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, I don't know if they are still sitting on them, but there is a certain gentleman who may or may not live in Roanoke, uh, who is hoarding tabernacles as a financial investment. And a good portion of the reason why that card went up so much in price is very specifically one individual. Not all of it, but a good portion. Basic swamps, things have been a little bit better since one of the previous updates. I'm still restarting after 3 rounds for to avoid a potential problem, but I haven't come across that problem. I don't have the money to throw around on tabernacles on, like, ye old teacher salary. Okay, so now I can Swords to Plowshare something. I can STP The Flicker Wisp and save one body this turn. My opponent takes 5, goes down to 1. And then my opponent just continuing to get more Jitte counters is really rough. But I think I need to get their flyer out of here. I guess there was another line where I just let my creature die this turn, block the Stoneforge on their turn, Swords to Plowshares my own creature to prevent Jitte counters. That one might have been better than what I did. Yeah, that might have been better. I thought of it, and then I started talking about Tabernacle, and I forgot it. Yep, I mean that's the streaming life though. Like, come up with a good line, like start to play towards it, get distracted by a bright shiny object, forget to do the thing. I think opponent is setting up to try to just alpha and kill me by not removing any of my creatures here. So the cool thing here is that I can pump Watcher of the Spheres at instant speed with Moorland Haunt. That's some sick value. I think we're still going to get this game. E-Girl, thank you very much for your support. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8 damage. My opponent can gain 6 life going up to 7. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus a little extra. I think I'm not going to do any blocks here. I don't want to run into like Thalia First Strike plus a Jitte counter to kill this. Oh man, we went deep for the Emu there, and I do respect it. Lol, 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 lol. We'll get him. We'll get him. Oh, that's the nightmare scenario. Because Flicker Wisp kills one of my tokens, and then they can move the Jitte counter over to it too. Hmm. Fuck, I'm gonna be 1 point of damage short. Let me double check that. So Watcher gets blocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn it. So close. Maybe they won't block the Watcher. Or maybe they'll do combat math wrong. Just block and restart the game. Are we just going for like every round bugged in a row? Um. Hmm. Just maximum memes. Just like try to bug out every round. Just turbo through the league and get it over with. But like this Flicker Wisp just kills me anyway. I'm gonna hope that they do the combat math wrong. Ooh, Hawkward. That's good. I like Hawkward a lot. I think they figured it out, chat. Yeah, so we're 1 point away from lethal here, and then they crack back and kill me. And I can make a token, but they can just mom protect through it. We'll go ahead and concede here. Yeah, Jitte confirmed good magic card. Alright, so we need to port out the island sanctuaries. They're bugged. We'll actually try to play a real game of Magic this time. I want Viridian Longbow. I want Aven Mind Sensors. I want Force of Virtues. I want Containment Priest. So conceptually, I see myself winning by aggroing out my opponent before they can get their game going. So I don't think I want to mess around with the Sky Hussar stuff very much. I just want to play some flyers, pitch some cards to a Force of Virtue, and go. I think that's how I can win. Then I'm going to go down on these. And I'm also just going to play a Remorseful Cleric as a 2/1 flyer. Yeah, let's try this. So this is like one land away from being like an ideal hand. I'm gonna go ahead and ship that one. Uh, well, okay. Keep it, no egrets. Uh, Word puns are strong. I can just see my YouTube comments now. I can just imagine them. I guess since I have a second island, I just play one of these out on turn 1. Alright, so we'll do a little dance here. I'll untap my lands, hold up Spellstarter Sprite. Hopefully my opponent just plays a creature that I can fall from favor and, like, become the pretty princess. Bird princess. Bird king. Gotta be some bird with the crown. Oh, I will become the kingfisher. Nice. Damn it, opponent. Just denying me all my sick value. Ooh, the Emperor Penguin. Oh. So, do I hold up this bird wizard? Or do I fall from favor? I think I hold up the bird wizard, because... Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna fall from favor my own creature. Let's go. If they have mom, they have mom. But, like, I'm not playing around stuff this league. Let's go. I'm the Emperor Penguin. I guess I could have attacked for one. Land Stoneforge to punish me. Accidentally play around Mind Sensor. I'm making opponent think. Okay. I'm good with that. So now I won't play anything here. That's what I get for auto-yielding to that fucking trigger, huh? That's a delp. Mildly annoyed. Yeah, since I auto-yielded to the trigger, I did not get an opportunity to respond to a Spirit of the Labyrinth with the Swords to Plowshares that was in my hand. Not having extra white mana here is preventing me from doing Watcher and Aven Mind Sensor in the same turn cycle. Play Recruiter. Let me have this. Dang it. I'm still allowed to make caw noises with a Spell Queller, right? That's still allowed, right? Anyone in chat confirm? Spell Queller, Honorary Bird. Dragul, you can click on the Cardboard Live extension that's on screen, the, like, pile of cards, and you can pull it up that way. Alright, confirmed honorary. Caw. Actually, I feel like this is more of a, like, caw, motherfucker, sort of moment. Hey. Why can't I have good mana? I get blown the fuck out by Flicker Wisp here. I just don't think there's anything I can do about that. Oh, wow, I didn't get blown out by Flicker Wisp. I'm still not going to attack. Alright, I can actually double spell next turn. It is a Christmas miracle. I'm gonna play hyper conservatively. Just try to stay safe. I guess I need to give my opponent priority. I don't do this now. They didn't have a 3-drop they wanted to violin on my turn. And I just don't want to give them that option when this is on the stack later after they've had another draw. Okay. Are you gonna hit anyway? Nope. I mean, even Mind Sensor did something after my opponent fetched up 3 pieces of equipment. Force of Virtue is sick, though. By Priest, I assume. No, I'm going to be pitching a Watcher of the Spheres right now. This game is about to go to shit. My mana was like a wee bit better. Alright. Hawk, hawk, hawk. Chat is losing their minds. I would say that a large number of my chat members right now are bird-brained. I'll show myself out. Oh, this is the Recruiter of the Guard with Aven Mind Sensor in play. I don't know if I like this. My opponent has failed to find a creature. Alright. I'm putting this poor Death and Taxes player through some serious abuse over there. I'll be keeping this hand. Like, we have Force of Virtue, and I think that's really strong. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I want this. I think the land's fine. Oh god, this is 3 to equip. Uh, a little rough. I'm gonna hold up Spellstarter Sprite. Maybe there's a world where my opponent doesn't put in the Batter Skull and they do something else instead. Wouldn't that be neat? No. I mean, it's okay to be worried about the real world. Like we are humans, right? Like we have our own concerns, cares, worries, stuff of that nature. Like you don't have to exist in a vacuum. Yeah, I think their equipment is better though. This this sort of Schadenport plus Batterskull combo is real good currently. Okay, Court of Grace is uncastable. Put that on the bottom. I'll top this Swords to Plowshares and like it'll cost 3 to equip. Didn't change. We'll put the Swords to Plowshares on top, and then we still have something that we can do next turn, even if we get ported again. The Batterskull bouncing is a long-term problem, though, that I don't know how I deal with. My opponent has any number of things that are just going to beat me, though. Like a Skyclave Apparition taking my Force of Virtue would probably be pretty disastrous, too. Oh, why'd I say that? Mm, right. Does this give any stats? No. Alright. I'm gonna attack for 2. And then mid-combat, I will cast a Swords to Plowshares on Skyclave Apparition. Getting a 4/4. I'll use that to trade with the Batterskull, and then over my next 5 draw steps, I'll draw all 5 pieces of Exodia, and I'll reveal them and win. Exodia in my deck list. Did we sideboard out any of the pieces? Yeah, I mean, Island Sanctuary would look real good in this spot. There's no bad cards in my grandfather's deck. Looks at Karibo. I am starting to get a little bit of Moto lag here, which is problematic. My opponent's 5th land is also a problem. I mean, and a Blue Eyes White Dragon does have 3,000 attack, and my opponent only has 22 life. A little bit overkill, but kind of like it. All right, all right. That's fine. We can stop here. We're getting bullied. My opening hand isn't really impressive. I can play a 1-drop, a 1-power creature into a 1-power creature, and then I'm kind of out of gas. And I think I just mulligan this one. Squadron Hawk hand. Keep. Meep. I'm gonna get rid of the Spell Starter Sprite since I'm tapping out for Squadron Hawks forever. Nathan, we broke Moto both rounds 1 and round 2. Island Sanctuary is bugged, and it restarts the game and loops things if you try to use its ability. Yeah, Nathan, $150 budget challenge. So if you were around for the Sylvan Library bug I did the other day, where like we clicked on a Sylvan Library and then like the game restarted and looped, uh, that's the sort of thing that happened. Probably the same overall bug at its core, but it's so hard to tell with Magic Online sometimes. Like I had heard a rumor at the beginning of the stream that Island Sanctuary was bugged, but that was not the way we were expecting it to be bugged. All right. Am I becoming the pretty princess? I think the answer to that question largely depends on what I think my opponent is playing. If they are a combo deck, I want Fall from Favor to draw towards something. I have interaction versus combo. Hold on. What's my game one plan versus combo? Is it lose? 2 spell quellers? Eh. I just don't think I beat combo in game one. Maybe I'm just supposed to keep playing fair cards. Sorry, my throat is getting a little sore. Wednesday is my day where I record all my videos for my remote students. So I spent most of the day recording and then came home to stream. Yeah, I think we're playing against Ant. We'll let them do their thing. Ant confirmed. Oh man, first year of teaching sucks. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have lessons that you can draw on. You're learning how to teach. You're reteaching yourself things that you know how to do, but you haven't taught them before, so you're not used to preempting the questions that you need to be preempting in order to like do the material well. Um, you don't know good classroom management skills. Like the first year of teaching is the worst year of teaching by far, and then every year after that is very difficult. Or sorry, is so much better. Yeah, I teach high school Latin. Like my first year of teaching was overwhelming. Like not quite as overwhelming as grad school, but close. And then every year of teaching after that, I just felt like, oh, everything is fine now. I'm currently mentoring 2 other teachers and kind of helping them through the initial period of learning how to teach. And so I gave them all sorts of materials to make their lives significantly easier. All right, Swords of Plowshares and Island Sanctuary don't do anything. Those need to get boarded out. I think Court of Grace probably doesn't do anything. I think that, like, as a 4-drop, that's just too slow. I think I need this to clock harder, and I think I need to get rid of that for another body. And And then I'm at 61. Oh, Fall from Favor also sucks. I don't think Back to Basics is really good. All right, I'll keep this. Like, teaching is super rewarding. You should just be prepared your first year to work 6 days a week. Like, just assume that you are not going to have a Sunday and you are going to need to spend your Sunday lesson planning and preparing for the week your first year. And then after that, you'll have made all sorts of PowerPoints or Google Slides, whatever you're using that you can draw upon for future years. Like you'll gain the ability to figure out like how long it will take students to do stuff. Your first year, you'll probably bounce around between under planning and over planning, and it'll be super frustrating, like this opening hand. But then things get better after you mulligan. Ish. um uh eh? I think I need to be turning my creatures sideways rather than using them to draw cards. I think I just play Watcher turn 2 and then hold up Spellstarter Sprite on turn 3. I just think I need another creature in play to clock anywhere close to enough to be killing my opponent. Well, that's pretty good. It's not like the anti-combo card of choice by any means, but it's a good amount of pressure and some amount of card draw. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not going to beat a turn 2 kill, especially if they can like turn 2 kill with duress or something. Oh, and E-Girl, I think I missed your question. Like, yeah, they know I stream Magic. I'm very public about that. Like, it's a huge part of my persona. Like, the kids know I stream. Sometimes they want to like play Smash Bros with me or something like that. No, my interaction. Yeah, Deafening Silence sounds reasonable. Curse of Squadron Hawk. Yeah, sometimes they want to play Magic with me. I try to dissuade them from that. Like, I would much rather watch them play a game of Magic with their friends and like stand over their shoulders and like poke them and say, "Why are you doing that? Why are you not doing that?" Like, versus like, "Hey, I have my Flyers deck. Do you want to play against me?" I'm over here like thinking about bringing my, like polished foreign language death and taxes deck to school. I'm just like, nope, no, that's okay. Good. Oh, I was supposed to play one Squadron Hawk pre-combat. Well, then I'd only be able to play with one card. There's just Raging Kavu. Kavu Furens. There's the Questing Feldegriff, that's Greek. E-Girl, there was a series of cards done in different languages as a promotion. I think they were done as pre-release promos. So there's one in like Sanskrit, Latin, Ancient Greek, Hebrew. There might be more. I will add to your storm count since the storm count is already lethal. You get nothing. Nothing. Yeah, they had it. Damn. Wah, 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 wah. Wow. Just while we're talking about this, though, I'll show off something that I have. So, for the off times where I do end up playing Magic with, like, new people of some nature, I have these 2 boxes decorated with all sorts of things with the various Ravnica guilds. And these are just full of various starter decks. They're labeled with the guild and whatnot, and I use these as a way to like play with my students or with people who want to play Magic but like really don't have competitive decks. They're just all like commons and uncommons that are like balanced to be roughly in line with power level with each other, that showed off a bunch of the mechanics from around the time of RTR. And this is just something that I always keep around and I don't intend on getting rid of, just as a casual way to play Magic with someone who wants to play Magic but doesn't play Legacy. A 1 land mulligan. 3 lands keep. Let's get rid of my slowest card here. The Swords to Plowshares could be dead. Wrangle Raz, thank you very much for following. I hope you're enjoying the content. Yeah, if my opponent kept their hand on this many cards, I am a little worried. Romox too, huh? My opponent might have the Tin Fins package of Children of Corliss in their deck. Will cost me 3 mana to Swords to Plowshares that sucker. Or I can just, yeet a Judge's Familiar into the initial trigger from the beginning of the game this turn. And then Swords to Plowshares it for 2 mana next turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and elect to do that. My opponent's bird is bigger than my bird. I am in huge trouble if I just get, like, duressed or thought seized here. Note to self, Cloud of Fairies is not free currently. So you're telling me there's a chance. Low Island Sanctuary. Maybe I should have played Cloud of Fairies first so I could forecast. Glad you enjoyed it. Reaple cheap. Alright, so let's cast this. Tap a land. Always yield to this. Untap these. Actually, I guess I don't really have anything else to do with the mana. This is 4 mana. I need 5 to cast one of these. Alright, I actually need to set an upkeep stop here. Yes, Boo, let's go ahead and do that. Oh, it costs 4 because of the Watcher. Good call, good call. Error on my end. Opponent should really just probably flash back their Faithless Looting. Yeah, I mean the Watcher hits hard. Island Sanctuary, not so much good. Very buggy. Opponent has given me the sweet deck. Thank you. I like it. Alright, so I cast this. I will untap my lands. I think at this point I just cast this sucker. I think it's time to start hitting my opponent. Oh, sweet, this untaps them all? So I get to attack with my Watcher? I straight up did not know it had that ability. I don't think I've ever cast Sky Hussar before. Island Sanctuary wouldn't really be great, though, because you can still be attacked by things with flying, and this has flying. I will take a Sky Hussar. Hmm. There is a world where my opponent just, like, dies next turn through Grizzlebrand, right? Like, if I draw a Squadron Hawk, maybe? I'll get rid of this upkeep stop. I mean, Rat Poison, we're playing a super, super budget deck, so... Eh? I don't know how much we get in terms of options. Alright, now I'm not sure that we actually win. So, this costs 4, but then there's the Chancellor trigger. I think I'm just passing the turn here. Unfortunately. Yeah, it's a lot of bugged island sanctuaries that don't do things versus flyers. Here's another Grizzlebrand. We'll go to 14. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 power on the swing back. Maybe I just trade with the Grizzlebrand. Alright, I lost a little bit of ground that turn. Do I need to keep this in hand? Maybe I need to keep this in hand. And I'm not exactly sure how to win. But maybe it involves this Sky Hussar somehow. The fact that I'm, like, still alive here is very interesting to me. I wonder if we can deck our opponent. Just jump block forever. I also wonder if I can just, like, rip Squadron Hawk and kill my opponent. Like, I can play all 4 Squadron Hawks in one turn, so that's worth 8 additional power. So assuming one of these gets blocked. Oh, a Sire of Insanity. Fair. Also a Grave Titan over there. Hi. Oh no, not our island sanctuaries. Anything but that. So my opponent is just essentially untapping a Grizzlebrand here, and then they'll produce a Sire of Insanity. And Animate Dead is not something that's counterable by Judge's Familiar. Guess I just let that happen. Like, I could counter it, but I think straight up, if I win this game, I am winning this game via mill. So assuming this gets blocked, if 3, 6, 7, 8, actually less than that. At the beginning of each end step, at the beginning of each end step. All right. Yeah, I don't think I can survive 9 turns. But it's not crazy, especially if my opponent, like, ends up drawing 7 more with Grizzlebrand or, like, casts of Faithless Looting or something. Yeah, we're Sky Hassaring. Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in quite some time. Yeah, you Faithless Looting. Dig deeper in your deck. That's how I'm winning. This all is kind of crazy. I need to block at least one thing. If I block the Grizzlebrand, they go to 13 life. I have 2, 4, 8, 9, 10 damage showing. So I think I'll just chump here and maybe I draw Squadron Hawk and kill my opponent. No, I need a target for this. Don't have a target currently. I can't just sack it willy-nilly. They're reanimating a Grizzlebrand. Okay. I'm good with that. Squadron Hawk. Island. If I attack, they block this. I deal 2, 4, 6 damage, but they gain 7 more. That's not enough. Awkward. Alright. How do I do this most efficiently? I need to kill some of these things. There's 6. That kills that. I don't think I can kill anything else this turn. Actually, maybe it's more important to conserve bodies. And I like make this 1-for-1 trade while keeping blocks for both things available next turn. Sure, let's try this. This is a very strange game. Just coming up on the wrong side of the combat math here. Maybe I shouldn't have like played towards a kill, and I should have just like blocked the first turn on the Sire of Insanity. I still have a potential kill by top decking a Squadron Hawk though. Maybe not now that my opponent has not drawn life or not reanimated something. So it's now Squadron Hawk or bust, I believe. All right, the animate dead on the Grave Titan should finish it off there. All right, we can finally go to the post sideboard games after 20 minutes. All right, Gormod's Crypt, Containment Priest, Remorseful Cleric, Haven Mind Sensor, I guess is fine in Meddling Mage. I don't like Court of Grace. Too many of my opponent's things fly. Sky Hussar did more work than I was expecting, to be honest. I don't love Swords to Plowshares, but I think I probably need it. Need outs to a Leshnorn. I think I'm supposed to trim Sky Hussar, not cut it. And then I'll just trim one other creature of some kind and call it good. All right. We're gonna keep the wizard hand. We have 5 wizards in hand. We're gonna hope that we play the meddling mage guessing game well and go from there. All right, there's a Grizzlebrand. Now we try to get lucky and hit the right one with meddling mage. All right, so this is free. I'm gonna name Animate Dead because I can't interact with it via Judge's Familiar later. I do not know what Pride of the Clouds is. Okay, I've made the call wrong. Did not get lucky. Because if we shut off the one they had this turn, and then I got to like Meddling Mage on, the other one next turn, that would leave them just with Reanimates, and hopefully I could pressure their Life Toter well enough. Oh geez, yeah, they just get like Sire of Insanity or Chancellor now as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat that. GG's, opponent. GG's. Okay. We put up one game win versus Death and Taxes, and then got pretty stomped the rest of the league. Uh, Island Sanctuary being bugged means that, at least for now, playing something of this nature on Magic Online is just not viable. Like, Island Sanctuary is, in theory, probably the best card that's in this deck list. Overall, there's some neat ideas here to explore, but this deck doesn't have a real plan for interacting with a combo deck, and it's not as objectively powerful as many of the like mid-range tempo or aggro decks of the format. And ultimately, I think that leaves this in a place where, like, I wouldn't feel good handing this to someone for an FNM event and expecting them to be able to like do well. I just think there's not enough interaction here, and you're not doing something that's powerful enough in order to just ignore what your opponent is doing and kill them quickly. So to make a comparison to another deck I played recently, with the Phyrexian Dreadnought Eater of Days deck that I played, you could largely ignore interacting with your opponents because you were making a 12/12 on turn 1 or turn 2, or you were making a 9/8 Flyer Trampler on turn 2. And when you're doing something that just hits that hard, it's a little bit more okay to ignore what your opponent is doing. But like here, most of the time on turn 2 I attack for 1. On turn 3 I attack for 2 or 3 damage, and then maybe sometimes on turn 4 I do some busted things with the Watchers. If I were going to play this again, I think I would want more lords of some kind. Like there's favorable winds, that enchantment that buffs all, I think, your flying creatures, I think is what that does. I think it's 1 in a blue, all flying creatures get +1/+1 or something like that. Or maybe I'd explore the Force of Virtue in the main deck. Like putting Force of Virtue in the main deck also would give you something to do with the Island Sanctuaries when you're not casting them. I would also try to explore more budget mana base options, so that you're not just sitting on like lots of islands, lots of plains. Like finding some more cheap dual lands to get in here would also probably help smooth things out a lot. But that might mean you need to drop the back to basics that's in the sideboard, and that's another way to mise wins against some decks. Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to play a budget deck in Legacy because the decks are just so powerful. They're drawing on such a huge collection of cards, that like when you're trying to fight with a budget deck that like doesn't have the Force of Wills or the Force of Nation, Force of Negations, like you really feel that against the combo decks in particular. But folks who watched on YouTube and made it this far, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, all that jazz. It helps out a lot with my metrics, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.